Your father's personal logs.
Amazing how life can change in an instant. Suddenly my career doesn't matter. This incredible woman I've been married to all these years. She's facing the end. All I think about are the times I wasn't there for her. Well, that's going to change. It occurs to me that Sam might be more than I ever imagined. The day is finally here. We're pushing. Sam, this is a reminder about Dr. Liara Tassoni. She's an Asari archaeologist I corresponded with a few years back. She's got experience studying ancient cultures. Make sure the team gets her research. Could be useful in Andromeda.
Liara Tassoni, huh? She studied the Protheans. When my team used to dig up artifacts, we'd debate her work. She had some pretty controversial theories, as I recall. Never gained much traction.
I have loaded Dr. Tassoni's research onto datapads.
Hello, Alec. This is Dr. Tassoni. I'm flattered you contacted me. Most scientists dismiss my work, but I'm young and Asari, and they are getting older. So we will see who has the final word. In the meantime, I'm happy to pass along my research. I hope your team finds it useful. Hello, Alec. I received your message. I must say the thought of exploring another galaxy has my head spinning. I am honestly not sure how people could survive a trip like that. And anyway, I could not bear to leave the Milky Way behind. There is so much about the Protheans I still hope to learn here. So much potential wisdom to tap. I wish you much good luck and future success.
Dunn's agreed to a scouting mission on Habitat 7. I'm gearing up now. I'm worried about Scott. Dr. Tapero says he'll be fine, but he's my son. How can I not worry? I hate to leave him like this. It's these moments when you wish you told your children you love them more often. Or ever. Which brings me to the tough part. Kids, if anything happens to me, there are things you're gonna find out. I hope you'll understand.
That log is not currently accessible. Unlocking my memory array may enable it.
I am Dr. Liara Tassoni, and I've spent several decades researching ancient Protheans. It is common knowledge that the Protheans were an advanced race that flourished in the Milky Way about 50,000 years ago, then went extinct. Even at the time of this writing, the year 2182, their culture remains a mystery. During my studies, I have developed some practices that can be used when analyzing any ancient culture. I hope they may prove useful for the research community. When studying a dead race, the most obvious problem is the lack of an observable population. This raises the question, when is a species truly extinct? The Prothean civilization spanned the galaxy, and it took centuries to confirm that all members of the species really had died out. While it's possible that living Protheans may be found in a hidden pocket of the galaxy one day, the chances are statistically trivial. Once an extinction is confirmed, the study's nature moves from sociology to exoarchaeology.
Your father's first sidearm, a memento of his early Alliance service.
I bet that saw plenty of action.
Alec's first kill occurred in combat during the First Contact War.
Back when Turians were the enemy. Crazy times.
Welcome back, Sarah.
That's all for now.
Of course.
I'll make it right, Dash. Pathfinder, I'm Nigel McCoy. Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Thank you. It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Nigel.
Yeah. We were gonna start families out here together. I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Of course.
In his digital journal, he mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Ryder, good to see you. Damn shame about your dad, though. I'm sorry we couldn't save him.
I'm sure you did everything you could.
Yeah, but still, we lost a Pathfinder on my watch. Doesn't sit right.
My dad knew the danger. Part of the job.
Now I just need to make sure your brother here pulls through.
Are you staying here in the Hyperion?
You know that moment when you realize you're just getting too old? Ha, right, look who I'm talking to. Trust me, it happens. For me, it was Habitat 7. Watching you guys running around, dodging lightning and the cat, it's a young man's game. Pains me to admit it, but it's passed me by.
We'll miss you, Harry.
Just make sure to raise some hell once in a while, will you? I'm living vicariously through you.
Deal. How's Scott doing?
His condition's stable. I see signs of REM activity in the brain, so he's dreaming. Means all the wiring still works.
How did this happen?
It was dumb luck, really. We hit the scourge at the worst possible moment, just as the stasis revival was kicking in. It's a vulnerable moment, coming out of a 600-year nap, then wham! The circuits fried and overloaded the neural pathways. Don't worry, I'm on it. We're not losing another rider.
How did you end up with the initiative?
Well, you reach a point in life where you wonder, is that all there is? I'd accomplished everything in the Milky Way I could. I was locked into a future of diminishing returns. So coming here was the world's biggest midlife crisis. A chance to wake up in the morning and feel hope instead of arthritis.
That's all, Harry. Thanks.
Don't be a stranger. If anything changes with
Привет,
Scott, I'll
Вероника.
let you know.
Как меня слышно? Не слишком громко. Менял положение микрофона и вырубил этот NVIDIA Broadcast. Да мне аж палец сразу этот, Рутони, кто заходит. Тут еще пара человек новых, но, по-моему, они даже не подписаны.
So this goes from a life-threatening gunshot to a story I'll tell my grandkids someday.
With no need to exaggerate, that was a tough fight on Habitat 7.
Just glad to be on the other side of it.
Как дела?
Greer, how you feeling?
Grateful. If you and Liam hadn't found me in that cave, God knows what those aliens would have done.
We couldn't leave a man behind.
Yeah, your father. And Kirkland.
Устал на работе, но думаю, блин, дай-ка запущу хотя бы на часик.
We'll never forget their sacrifice. It's a brave thing, risking your life for the greater good.
Yeah. Just seems unfair. We barely got here. I'm sorry I'm not out there with you, but Kirkland was a friend, and I'm not cut out for this anymore.
Understood. Habitat 7 was a nasty wake-up call. You take care, Greer.
You too. Thanks again.
Fisher, glad to see you're doing better.
That was some expedition, hey? Captain said I'm going in the log as the first human to make contact with the kid. And Kirkland's the first casualty. Wish it could have gone differently.
Ты кем работаешь?
I'm sure there are decent aliens here in Andromeda too. We just have to find them.
Well, I heard you're Pathfinder now. Sooner you figure out where they're hiding, the better.
Will do. Chin up.
Да. Ну, мою-то работу точно не перенести никак. Не, ну хотя частично, может быть, и можно, но, блин, очень сложно полностью. Твою туда, возможно, еще. Драпснет. Вообще какие-то новые зрители откуда-то взялись. Заходят. Их Рутони палит постоянно. Да, так мою, конечно, сложновато перенести. Мне по большей части надо находиться рядом. Ну, бухгалтеру проще перенести все равно как-то, да. Но мне, допустим, вот смотри, инженер АСУТП, автоматизированным системам управления технологических процессов. Как перенести? Типа да никак. Я не понимаю, или это захват игры такой бывает, подлагивает кодировщик? Или чё?
Ryder, this new station leadership I'm hearing about finally let you out of their sight? Took them long enough.
Thanks for the talk.
Так я с ней уже был там.
Sure thing.
Я уже запутался, где был, блин.
Pathfinder, it's good to see you. Word is there's been trouble on the station.
We're here now. It'll get better.
That's what I've been telling people. You're here now. As soon as we establish outposts, everything will even out. I'm sure of it.
What about your family?
I'm an orphan. I left some friends and distant relatives behind. I love piloting. But I like the idea of going back to my roots and farming like my parents did. Someday.
Why did you join the initiative?
The most popular question on the station. Honestly, I wouldn't have known about this project if Nozomi hadn't reached out to me.
Nozomi?
Captain Dunn. Of all the captains I've piloted for, she's the best. I've always been a wanderer at heart. When she asked me to be her pilot, how could I say no to the adventure of a lifetime?
How do you feel about all this now that we're here?
Hopeful. I know it's a rose-colored outlook, but someone's got to keep the positivity coming, right?
Have to go now. See you later.
Later.
Да писец, тут бывать не найдешь ничего вообще. Я бы сокол взял, но мне денег не хватит на него.
Weapons and stuff. It'd be a lot easier if I weren't missing half my stock.
You got it. Shopped.
That's fine. Hey, Tam would have my head.
Engineering update. We are working on accessing more power from the Hyperion.
Это типа заключенные, что ли?
Repair requests are currently on hold until power coupling is complete.
Не, бунт вон случился. Видишь, пишет. Блин, еще луч подлагивает. Могут быть подгрузы. Не обращаю внимания. Ну, потери маленькие, конечно. 0,6%. И то редко, но, блин. Может буферизация чуть-чуть быть. Но с этим я лучше потом разберусь. Сейчас вообще овощи. Я же говорю, часик включу побегать. О, чуть не купил пушку, а она тут лежит. Нормально.
Toxic. What if they store oxygen in porous tissue, like Quiro's rockfish?
I still reckon they had breather gear stowed in that armor.
Perhaps. You must be the Pathfinder. Wonderful. Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop. Or lab. You know.
You are always welcome. Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14
Сейчас попробую битрейт спустить чуть-чуть. Может, так постабильнее будет. Ага.
Pathfinder, we've had some trouble.
Anything I can.
Perhaps.
Слышно, наверное, как клава классит. Она механика.
Section of the scourge that was behaving anomalously. They haven't reported in for some time. I sent them out there. Good, dedicated people. I fear what might have happened to them.
Don't give up hope. When I'm out there, I'll see if I can find them.
Their friends and family will want to know what's happened. And I need to know.
Поставил 7000 битхейта, он скачет вообще до 10. Чё за, блин?
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there.
О, ничего себе, какие люди. Привет, Куэт. Не обращайте внимания, я свернул. Сейчас кое-что сделаю. Как дела, Паш? Да помнишь, я проходил все Mass Effect? Это давно было, конечно, но было. Решил уж до последнего проходить. А что делать? Надо уже до конца. Вероника, это я сейчас с Ютубом разговариваю. Там этот, как его... Блин, надо было вывести чат, наверное, на экран. Рутони. Да я так запустил на часик сейчас побегать перед сном. Завтра на работу опять. Все равно до 10 тысяч скачет битрейт. Ну какого фига вообще? Как это убрать, блин? Чего он скачет-то? Блинский. Что бы я ни делал, битхейт скачет. Просто неадекватно, блин. Ай, что же сделать такого? Так я и сделать-то ничего не смогу. А чё ты так? Почему начал и бросил? Ну, говорят, гриндил когда, но просто если уж, блин, начал всю серию проходить, думаю, надо... Ну, брошу, если надоест. Никто не запрещает. Ну да, блин. Ну, типа, баги убрали, она хотя бы как-то играбельная стала, но, блин... Не знаю. Но слишком... Да, там слишком, говорят, гринда много, типа. Это времени занимает много, это нудятина. Поэтому, да.
They were frustrated. If they just wanted to kill, they could have fought to the last here.
Как, кстати, стрим на YouTube идет? После как заблочили серваки в России, YouTube, очень сложно стримить на Россию с нашего города. Как ты понимаешь. Ой, на Европу. Далековато находимся. Поэтому через сервисы приходится пускать, и в 2К я не могу пускать теперь. Раньше мог в 2К, блин, и хоть 30 тысяч битрейта ставить. Сейчас я так не смогу сделать. Приходится в этом, в 1080, короче. И вот так вот. Да плюс и задержка, наверное, на YouTube большая. Ну и ладно.
This wasn't in the job description. We have to find a world, then save it.
Ты сейчас в рабочей вахте или дома? Короче, она времени много может сожрать, тупо потому что это слишком много гринда, говорят.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
Exile, huh? Guess it wasn't for having a hand in the cookie jar.
They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Только спрашивал, за что его там посадили. Теперь понял. Ну, по сравнению с тем, когда она выходила, какая она была круче, она сейчас работает неплохо. Вроде все неплохо, блин. Но занудства очень много. Прям какое-то адовое занудство бывает.
That's the console for our strike teams. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
I'll deploy your people carefully, Kandros.
Appreciate that, Ryder. But trust me, Apex can handle themselves. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
A Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Your wife's all broken up over this. She says you didn't do it, and that she loves you.
She's a wonderful person. At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
Last I checked, getting into a spat wasn't against the law.
There's more. He ordered us to
Ну,
regroup
на
and
прошлом стриме решили, что начинаем эту женщину. Раз третье лицо, то мы должны видеть задницу главной героини. Все как положено.
I guess I panicked and fired. Witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Как и те части проходил. Тоже все заорали, блин, в чатике. Давай создавай женщину.
I'm so sorry. That's awful.
We were close. He was a stubborn son of a... I admired that about him. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
Don't throw in the towel yet. I'll review the evidence. Maybe I can find something that'll help.
That would be great. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Tram technicians, please report to the Hyperion coupling annex.
Не, ну а чё тебе приятнее на задницы мужские смотреть, когда бегаешь?
All personnel, be aware of any suspicious activity. Security is on heightened alert.
Я в Андромеде не слышал, с кем мутить можно, с кем чё. А, точно, я ж вспомнил. Нет, я все те части начинал, блин, проходить за мужика. Точно, я ж там... Мы ж это, голосовали, романтику с кем устроить. Точно, блин. Блин, да. По-моему, я только третью часть начинал за женского персонажа. Да? Да, по-моему, я только этого. Только третью начинал за женского, а остальные у меня были мужские.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results.
Вот этот вот диалог вообще не нужен сейчас.
Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess.
Я только что с ним болтал. Зачем он мне сейчас 20-минутный диалог? Вот этот вот. Я вот про это нудятинство говорю. То есть сразу, когда я к нему подошел, он не мог это сказать, да? Ему надо было через 5 минут, как я опять подойду, выдать диалог, блин, на 20 минут. Ну чё за...
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
Doesn't seem right to put all that on him.
Of course it isn't, but that's the perception. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
And you assume he's lying.
What's a lie to a murderer? Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor, and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I
Вот
stayed in
опять же, могли
service.
сказать.
But I kept wondering,
Просто вот у меня
when do I get
семья
my
военная.
Jen
Поэтому и
Garson's
я
dream
военный
was
пошел.
so
Все.
grand, so
Зачем
desperately I had to
вот
be
эта
private.
мечта Джейн Гарсон была настолько масштабной, настолько мощной? Кто тексты, блин, писал? Он типа солдат, блин. Семьи военной. Он бы, блин, в реальности, наверное, отвечал коротко, блин. Типа, блин, да, такая-то фигня. У меня семья военных, поэтому я пошел по стопам родителей. Все. Они, но я все спрашивал себя, где же приключения? Мечта Джин Гарсон была настолько масштабной, настолько мощной. Я был рад стать частью ее. Что это такое вообще, блин?
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to
Чё
war
ты
on the
ржёшь?
Nexus,
Ну так и
everyone looked
есть.
at me like I was in charge.
Кто диалоги писал?
Sounds
Тому надо,
familiar.
блин, я не
The
знаю.
militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Для девочек-школьниц книги писать, блин. А не сценарии и диалоги, блин.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So. We're not good at sitting
Ну
around
чё, у
in
меня
crisis.
ник оправдывает,
Service
блин.
before self gets drummed
То,
into
что
us
я
at boot
бухчу.
camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket.
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
Ну тут же, да, до событий трилогии, получается, за 2 года до событий трилогии. И получается, ну, они вылетели, поэтому они еще не знают, что такое кеты. Как таковое вообще. И что им надо. Точно, тут же ничего им не известно.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Engineering report.
Тут еще стратегии. Ужас, так. Ну ладно. А на этого мне отряда не хватает. То есть мне надо еще одну. Финансов мне тоже не хватает. Это капец, блин. Ну ладно. Так. А здесь что? Ты что прикалываешься? Нафиг не надо, блин, потом слушать, сидеть. Ну, дятину. Вот это точно, это... Никто столько не болтал, кого я только встречал. Это капец какой-то, он бу-бу-бу-бу-бу-бу. Я бы понимал, если бы, ладно, это бу-бу-бу, если бы я один раз подошел, и он мне сразу это вывалил. Я бы еще пролистал, что-то почитал бы, понял. Но когда он тебе каждый раз, ты подходишь и каждый раз вываливает на 20 минут монолог, блин.
Engineering update. We are working on accessing more power from the Hyperion.
А как здесь улучшать оружие? Как вот модули вставить? Вот я взял задание. Правильно? Правильно. Куда мне дальше идти? А, у Кора еще уровни, да? Да пусть авто будут, блин. Как не ставить моды? Ну и вот. Какой ублюдский интерфейс, это вообще ужас. Кстати, надо сложность все-таки уменьшить. Безумие, блин, перебор. Я так чокнусь. Хотя, блин, ладно, оставлю. Не буду менять. Пусть на безумие. Там, конечно, меня ваншотят. Ой. А, ну вот, блин. Мне надо поговорить с Таном и с Кеш. Где Тан и где Кеш? Это вон, люди в чатике на прошлом стриме даже было людей, и все проголосовали за безумие.
At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
I noticed there aren't a lot of Krogan around.
You haven't spoken to number 8 yet, have you?
Number 8?
Tan. Ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and in return, get more say in the initiative.
Опять же, ломается все, потому что эти же чуваки, Кроганы, она женщина, блин. Ну, из-за генофага или как его? Женщины там берегли, как, блин, не знаю кого. Они бы их не послали, блин, воевать на другую планету. Какого фига она здесь делает?
Why do you call Tan 8?
Because he was 8th in line to take over the Andromeda initiative. I like to remind him of that now and then. Keep him humble.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
With your clan gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
В смысле посвящения воина? Не понял ты меня. Она перед этим говорила, что она женщина. Кроган женщина. Ну, она все склоняла себя, что она женского пола. Кроган женщина, если ты не забыл по прошлым частям, их там берегли. Они как, блин, чуть ли не это, не святыни. Их очень мало, и при этом, когда, которые могут рожать, их было мало тоже. Женщин там вообще капец, как, типа... Так, по-моему, это она или нет? Или какой-то другой Кроган подошел и сказал, что она женщина. Типа, тогда не состыковка, блин.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
What happened to Gian Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
And I thought the Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources
Ну
or
тогда вот
people,
опять же не
so
состыковка.
Addison's more uptight than ever. And let's not forget how badly the station was damaged on arrival.
Ее бы просто
But
свои
that's a
бы не
detail,
выпустили
according to
с
some.
планеты, блин.
My team and I are repairing what we can. If we don't get materials soon,
Там бы
things
ее
will
на
go
руках
downhill
носили.
fast.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
Да, я помню с прошлых частей. Они ж славянцы об этом и сожалели очень сильно. Ну, на самом деле, типа. Вот этот ученый, который создал генофак, который с нами там путешествовал, он очень сильно сожалел о том, что он вообще создал это. Но в какой мы? Во второй части лечили уже генофак. Типа вылечили. Но тут-то это до этих событий. За 2 года они улетели. Поэтому они не знают, что есть лекарство. И типа то, что этот ученый вообще сожалел о том, что сделал.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame
Не,
it
слушай,
all
а
on
это
them
без
either.
агрессии так
The
что-то
Solarians
это...
developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the
Смотри,
past.
это какая-то
Plenty of
слишком
blame to go around,
разумная
but Andromeda
для
is about
Крогана.
new
Нужно
beginnings.
Кроган
My
крушить,
people need that
Кроган
more than
ломать.
most.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
А, ну видишь, тут нет лекарства, но при этом тут Кроганы из-за того, что их усилили. У них мутация усилилась, которая защищает от вируса генофага.
Which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
ну, типа, многоходовочку разрабы сделали игры, типа, чтобы, типа, не обесценить прошлые твои заслуги в излечении Хоганов. Типа, сделаем кому и в этой части, типа, что они излечились сами. Типа, блин, непонятно.
What kind of work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Nothing more for now.
Later.
Tempest crew should report to the docking area at once.
Вообще будут объяснять, как моды вставлять, как чё, блин. Что за фигня вообще?
Tram technicians, please report to the Hyperion coupling end.
Ryder, you may have a less than flattering view of me, but I want to express my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well,
Ну я и
although I
говорю, они
understand he
типа
played a key role in
обесценить,
planning the initiative. I'm sure you'd be
чтоб не
concerned that we still
обесценить,
have several
типа
arcs missing.
твои действия в
They're as much
прошлой
a part of the initiative as the
игре.
human arc. We'll find them.
Типа, если ты за то, чтобы типа вылечить
Tens of
генофак,
thousands of colonists are unaccounted
ну
for.
и его
It
излечиваешь,
paints the
то
initiative in an unflattering light.
типа да.
Did you have some
Ну
other
они же вообще
business?
живут мало, кстати, эти по 40 лет, что ли, соларианцы. Как и эти насекомые там. Турианцы живут как люди. Это только эти, скажи, азары живут по 1000 лет. Все остальные, типа, расы не живут столько.
Sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Gian Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we call them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
Блин, ну доктор, вот, который генофак создал, этот, как его звали, блин, в тех частях? Он хотя бы веселый был.
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. Their muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Jean Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness, finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here, or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry. So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the Cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
Of course, as you pointed out, we need each other. Our futures depend on each other's success.
Tram technicians, please report to the Hyperion Coupling Annex.
Ладно, все, буду заканчивать. Давайте, кто тут. Покиду. Доброй ночи.
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion are on hold. Please await further instructions.